Hello there.
Good morning.
How are you?
Can you bring the camera down? All I'm seeing is the top of your head and the.
I can stand up. The wall at just the wrong height. I didn't realize that. Um, Hang on just a second. Let me try something. Well, yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do.
Okay, no
So
worries.
I'll stand here. How's that? Hi.
Well, now I see. There we are.
There
That's
we
it.
go. All right. How's that? Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
So, because I don't want time to get away from us, let me briefly review what I currently know and what I've done.
Okay. And I didn't bring paper or pencil, so if you could text me anything I need to know. Do I need a paper or pencil right now?
No,
Okay.
I just what I will do is I will email. Um, there are a couple things that I'm going to email you. I just finished reading something about St. Francis, whose
Okay.
feast day is going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to send you that.
Okay.
I'm also in the process of reading the book of Baruch, which
Okay.
is a book that I am not at all familiar with in the Old Testament.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to encourage you to read that
Okay.
because the piece of that I read earlier today talked about being released from prison. So I thought, how providential is that?
Wow, how about that?
so so anyway, I'm going to I will do hopefully our last email dump of reflections for the last month,
Okay.
because next month hopefully you're not going to be
Hopefully.
able to accept this
Right.
in this mechanism.
How
So,
many do you have left on that? You still have a bunch left, don't you?
oh yeah. What I've
Okay.
been doing is I've been sending you a month at a time.
Right. So,
So we've got basically the entire month of September still.
yeah. No, I,
Um,
I meant you've still got a bunch of emails left on because
oh
you had
yeah,
like 30 to start with, right? So, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so I talked with Savannah yesterday.
Okay.
Um, and one of the things that she said was that if she calls, the day you're released, she's like, I'm fairly confident that he's going to have to spend a few days in a tent, um, because if you go to Indianapolis or if you come here, you're going to have to request from parole a transfer from
Right.
Howard County to wherever.
Right.
Um, and each transfer of parole costs about $200 because you have to pay $100 to Howard County and you have to pay $100 to the county that's receiving you.
Gotcha.
So that's point number one in terms of
Okay.
logistics.
Okay.
Point number two in terms of logistics is she said she can make a phone call and a tent and sleeping bag will be delivered to whatever address she requests that they go. So, in
Oh,
terms
really?
of logistically, how to get you a tent and a sleeping bag, that piece is taken care
Okay.
of.
I can't believe I'm reduced to this, Jim. I'm so damn pissed. I'm just, this whole thing is just, I want to go crazy.
Well, I wanna look forward. You're not reduced to that. You're released to that.
Wow, it's just
So,
hopeless. It's, yeah,
next piece.
yeah.
Um, Coordinated Assistant Ministries, CAM, has a clothing garage, and rescue mission.
Which I was accepted to right before I came in here.
Right. You need to reapply there.
Okay.
And you need to do an intake in person. You can't do it over the phone.
Okay. Which I did.
You need to bring your driver's license and social security card when you apply there. I wasn't sure if you still had your social security card.
As far as I know, it's in my wallet, which is up front.
That's a beautiful thing, because
my license is expired and I don't have an address to send a new one.
That's absolutely fine as long as you have a driver's license.
So did Cam say they would consider taking a sex offender?
No. So none of the places in Kokomo will take sex offenders.
Okay.
I talked with your attorney's office day before yesterday evening, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm expecting a call back from them because they know that I am working logistics for an aftercare program. So I'm expecting a call from them hopefully today, perhaps Monday.
Said anything about an outdate? That there is going to be an outdate?
No. So I was talking with a woman who said she was going to review the conversation that I had with her with your attorney, and either he or she would be calling me back.
Okay.
So my plan is to...
Right now, the thing that just concerns me is he told me about this plea, and he brought up that it's going to be time served, which means getting out, and then he hasn't been back in a week and a half.
Well, nor would I, again, you are a public defender case, and he's going to focus more of his time on the places that make him money so that he can pay bills.
Believe me, being here a year, I know this. I've talked to him for a total of 15 minutes and 3 visits. So.
Yeah, so I'm not concerned or surprised by the limited contact that you had with him.
Yeah.
But continuing regarding Cam, you can pick up clothes, and I would expect that being looking for a coat.
Yeah.
The person that I talked to at Cam said many places will hire you with a felony, and they will provide you a list at Cam when you do your intake.
Okay.
So as I understand it, the first place you're going to go following release is Cam.
Okay.
I mentioned none of the places in Kokomo, if you have to register as a sex offender, will take you. So.
Now, what about, I know also Lafayette Urban Housing has a place too, if you want to check that.
Hang on, let me make a note here.
And did Mick ever call you back? You said, I didn't quite understand how that worked. You said somebody contacted you.
Yeah, so hang on one second. Let me get this note.
Okay.
Lafayette Urban Housing. Okay, so I thought Mick turned me on to the place in Indianapolis. I now think that it was Shannon.
Savannah, you mean?
Savannah, sorry, yeah. So
if you still have Mick's number, because I know he does he has, I believe, a building right by the rescue mission, right downtown. And my friend Malik, who was my cellmate before, told me that he would give me a job at a place to stay, and that he
Okay.
knows
So
you could try him again.
I will certainly try him again. The Savannah gave me the name and number of a guy named Dell, and Dell is the one that identified the place in
In
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. And maybe it would be better for me to get out of Dodge. I don't know, because my wife and daughter have had a year to badmouth me around town, and like sex cases are in the paper and stuff like that. So I could be a target.
Well, at the end of the day, the thing that's exciting about the place in Indianapolis is the middle of November, they're going to have 32 rooms available.
You said that, yeah. Is it
Um,
the rooms or apartments or?
so what this is a renovated hotel.
Okay.
Um, I was able to get pictures online,
Uh huh.
um, and Dell indicated that there are people that um, have lived there as many as 5 years. So
Right.
it's long term housing
Okay.
um, in Indianapolis. Um,
Is it something you pay for, or is it funded, or?
um, well, I think you start by it being totally funded, and then they work at getting you a job, and then
Yeah.
you help uh, pay them back, type thing.
Gotcha.
Um, so when I talked with Savannah yesterday, um, when she answered or she called me back, she was like, "So what's up?" And I was like, "Well, you said you were going to look into things," and she said, "Yeah, I sent you Dell," and I was like, "Oh, I thought that Mick
Oh.
sent me Dell."
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
But she said stop in there and she'll see about getting me a tent.
well, no, what I would do is I would go to Cam, step
Yeah.
one,
Okay.
call her from Cam.
I don't have a phone. I'm gonna have to get a phone.
You will have access to a phone probably at
And call.
Cam.
That's true.
You
Okay.
can you can ask Cam to call Savannah,
Okay.
um, because that way you'll have clothes and you'll have housing, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, because I can be there to coordinate logistics on the
Right.
28th. Very likely the earliest that I'd be able to get down there would be Saturday, the Saturday following, which I don't have a calendar in front of me, but I think the 28th is a Tuesday.
Right.
Um, so between now and then, I'll hear from your lawyer's office and we'll figure out logistics of if you're going outside of Howard County, how to get that done.
Okay.
Um,
And I know also I have to register even if I'm homeless, and I know that's like $50 too. So I don't know with the county. So I'm gonna have to come up with money somehow.
yeah, we'll work on the logistic pieces, and between Sue and me, we'll get you the bare minimums.
Okay.
right
Okay.
right now we're pretty close to um, you know living month to month with me
Yeah.
being on disability, and that's
Yeah.
that's going to
I'm
be the
sorry you're
case.
doing this. I appreciate you helping. So.
Well, it's if I wasn't on disability, I wouldn't have the time to do this stuff. So,
Right. That's true. I did have that thought. I'm like, I'm kind of lucky. I'm sorry you're on disability, but having
Well,
somebody
you know, the paradigm shift. You're not lucky. I'm not lucky. We're both blessed.
right,
Um,
true,
and well, and you know, there are times that it's hard to see that,
right,
which is why I want you to read the book of Baruch
right,
just briefly. That's
okay,
that's the story of a group of folks, of Jews that are still in exile. The temple has been rebuilt back in Jerusalem, but they can't get there.
gotcha,
And they're
yeah,
sending this letter to them
uh-huh,
to say, hey, we're here because of bad choices we made,
yeah,
and God's still faithful.
right,
So it's perspective. And, you know,
yeah,
it was the first reading, and I was like, now what's the story of Baruch? So I'm in the process of reading the book.
gotcha,
It's only about 7 pages long, so it's not a big
gotcha,
book.
okay,
But anyway, um, talking with your lawyer, hopefully I'm going to get a better understanding. The other thing that I started to do, haven't completed yet, to get a better big picture of the challenges that are in front of us, there is a what's it called? It wasn't a podcast, but there was a meeting several years back
mm-hmm.
where professionals that are in this realm talked about the challenges facing folks who are registered sex offenders in terms of accessing housing.
Yes,
So that's an hour and a half long thing that I
yeah,
haven't listened to. I will listen to later today to
okay.
get a better understanding because,
Was that the podcast you referred to? I'm
yeah,
not sure. Okay,
yeah. So the thing that amazed me is that there are 8 services in Kokomo that assist felons with alcohol problems with housing.
yeah,
I was surprised that there were that many because I didn't
yeah,
expect there to be that many. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is none of them will deal with folks who are on the sex
sex
offender
offender.
registry.
Okay,
So, and the brief part of the podcast that I did listen to, 87% of the people that were surveyed said a major issue is housing. The second major issue is employment.
right,
But first we got to get you housing.
yeah,
Um, so that's what I know on that stuff, and that's the stuff that I will be doing over the next couple weeks.
okay,
I leave for San Diego on the 21st.
okay,
I start back to uh, work at the office doing in-house sales next Monday. So I don't know how much time during the
gotcha,
day I'm going to have to explore stuff.
okay,
Um, but that's where things are at for me.
okay.
Um,
So
so
how was Savannah? Did Savannah was she open to helping me anymore,
uh,
or was she like,
um,
stay at? Can I go to Turning Point or?
you can certainly go to Turning Point.
Yeah,
I don't think that they have housing resources.
yeah.
She was
Oh,
she
and
was
wait. Okay, so no, go ahead. I'm sorry. 'Cause we haven't
she
got
was
finished yet.
probably the most direct. She was a little bit. It was like ouch. Where she slapped me upside the head. It's like, oh yeah, he's going to spend. I fully expect he's going to wind up spending a couple weeks in a tent.
Gotcha. Now, okay, did you check with HUD? Does HUD still help people on the sex offender list?
I haven't checked about the sex offender list.
Okay,
What I checked was you are still on the waiting list,
right,
but access and availability, assuming you are eligible, is still
right.
10 months away.